Welcome to the Handyman System Podcast, your ultimate guide to building and running a successful handyman business. If you are an aspiring or working handyman or contractor and you're looking to learn business pricing, marketing, or automation strategies, you have come to the right place. So join us as we dive into the actual tips and proven strategies to help you nail down your business goals and renovate your path to success. Your hosts are myself, Becca Ellison. I am the CEO of the Handyman System, a marketing agency that helps handyman businesses thrive, and I am often joined by Caleb Ingram, the CEO of North Seattle Handyman. Let's get started. Welcome back to the Handyman System Podcast. Today we're talking all about your website, which is your most important business tool outside of your actual toolbox. So I want you to think of it like this. Your website really only works for you as hard as you work for it. If you treat it like a forgotten business card, it's going to do nothing for you. But if you use it strategically, it's going to become a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week lead machine, helping you book better clients, rank higher in Google, and build trust before someone even reaches out. By the end of this episode, you're going to know exactly what your website needs to bring in more clients, save you time, and work for you in the background, even before you're ready to run ads or scale your business. All right, let's get into it. So your website is more than just a digital business card. It is no longer 2007, my friends. And a lot of handymen treat their online presence like it was in 2007 when it was an optional thing. But in 2025 and beyond, your website is only going to become more and more of a critical aspect to bringing in leads in your business. A lot of handymen throw up a basic one-page website or put nothing on it at all. A lot of handymen throw up a basic one-page website or don't bother at all, and then expect it to magically bring in leads. But here's the truth. Your website is like a one-page pamphlet versus a full chapter book when you do it that way. A pamphlet that gives you a short, vague summary, and Google and your potential leads don't really know much about you or what you do. Now, if it was a chapter book has pages full of details. So Google understands exactly what you do, where you do it, and why you're the best choice. And so do the people who are landing on your website. Especially when people are comparing you to the other one-pager handyman websites that have a bunch of stock photos and generic nothingness on it, they're going to look at your site and go, ooh, this person seems like a real person. The more specific pages you have for the services you want to do, the better your chances are of ranking when people are searching for those services. So the reason why Google ranks content-rich websites higher is simple. It really just has more context. If your website has a single page with a short list of service, Google sees it as generic. But if you have individual pages for your services, Google knows exactly who you help, and so do your potential clients. And that's why taking the time to add the content and the context is key. All right, so what are the essential pages your website needs? We're going to break down what those must-have pages are that will turn your website into a lead-generating machine. First of all, your homepage, and your homepage that gets straight to the point. Your homepage, the moment it loads, needs to answer 4 things. What do you do? Handyman services, home repairs, remodels, exactly what you do. Where you do it. People need to know that you are in the St. Louis area. If they are in, Ann Arbor, Michigan, they're not going to be able to work with you, right? They need to know, and it's astonishing how often I find clients' websites that don't say anything on them about where they're located. Where you are, your city and town, and what action you want your visitor to take next. You want a call to action, a button that takes them to your preferred way for them to inquire, which my suggestion is an inquiry form. You can do a phone number if you like taking phone calls, but an inquiry form is the greatest thing, especially for you solo guys, because it means that you're not tied to the phone when you should be out there doing the work, right? And then finally, a photo of you. People want to know who you are. They want to do the vibe check and make sure that they look at you and go, okay, I think he looks competent and confident, and I'm willing to open my house and let this person in the middle of the day when I'm here alone. That is no joke, an important thing when you're talking about the vast majority of your clientele who are looking to hire you or women. They want to make sure that they don't think that you're going to be a danger of them. And if you're like, that's ridiculous, well, to us ladies, not so ridiculous. Just having a photo of you smiling and looking at the camera or doing some tasks around the house on your website does a huge, huge, huge step to building that trust that they're going to invite you in and be safe with you in their home. The key at the end of the day, when it comes to your request a quote button or your phone number, is to choose one and stick with that. You don't want to give people too many options or too many places to go, because they're going to get confused, get distracted, and move on. And they're going to end up landing on somebody else's website that did not get them confused or distracted, that led them the right way to inquire. That person's going to get your business. So the clearer you are and you just say, hey, request a quote, always just point them to the one preferred spot. When you funnel everyone into your quote request form, this not only makes it easier for you on the back end of your business, but it's also signaling to Google that your website is engaging and valuable. The more people that interact with your website, the higher Google's going to rank you. Next is your service pages. You need dedicated service pages as well as an overall handyman service page. If you want to book better jobs and specific jobs more than other jobs, you need to have a dedicated service page for those jobs. So think about it. If someone searches for deck repairs in St. Louis, who is Google going to show that to? A generic handyman website with no details and happens to say the word deck repair, like those two words, once somewhere on their website? Or a business with a full page about deck repairs, complete with photos, FAQs, reviews, and specifications of exactly where their service area is? Google is going to show people that more content-filled website page. And this is why every key service you offer should have its own page, such as deck repairs, what's included, what's your process, show before and after photos, minor electrical work. Do you install light fixtures, swap out switches? Explain what you do and don't do, especially when it comes to light plumbing and light electrical, because as most of the time as a handyman, you can do, yeah, I will absolutely switch out your light switches, but I cannot put in a new J-box. So the other thing is to have a overall handyman services page. It's kind of like the a la carte menu. Have the listed all in one area, all of the different things that you do, because people will then be able to browse and go, oh, I didn't even think about the fact that he might be able to help me with my wobbly banister. We should add that to the inquiry. They'll get ideas of other things that you can help them with around the house. Have a page that lists everything, and then just link those other pages, those specific pages, like the deck repair or the drywall, from your overall page. Next, we're going to talk about your about page. And this is a page that really builds trust. So clients don't just hire services, they want to hire people. And your about page is going to let people know that you are a human, right? That they are not working with this huge corporation, that they can trust you, right? They want to see a picture of you. They want to see a picture of your team, if you have a team. A short story about why you started your business, what makes you different from the competition, what your values are, and a little bit about who you are as a human. So like, do you coach your daughter's little league team? Put that little fun thing in there, because if that person happens to have a daughter in little league as well, you're going to feel more of a human to them, and they're going to have more of an emotional connection and more likely to hire you. So having that about page that builds that human connection and lets people know the people that are going to be showing up at their house and doing the work is key to building trust. Next, we have a project gallery or a before and after page. People want to see the work that you do. They want to see those after photos, and they really want to see the befores to see how crappy it looked before and then how great it looked afterwards. Having pictures that show that before photo and then that transformation, and then anywhere from 2 to 5 sentences of what the job was that you did, because it's not always obvious what the job was just by the photos that you share. Explaining what the problem was that the customer had, what the solution was that you offered, and what the end result is will go a long way to building that trust that people know that you're the right person for them. By helping include those descriptions, it also will help Google, again, get more context, right? And it's going to let those potential clients see what it is that you can do for them. Next, we're going to get to what's actually on your quote request form. Your quote request form should be more than just what's your name and give me a message. They're asking about a specific project. You need to know the address it's going to be at so that you know if it's in your service area. You need details of the project, photos of the space or the problem so that you can provide a quote. And it gives you that ability for the history so that when something happens and somebody's like, you said you were going to do X or you made damage, you can go back to the original photos they sent you and say, see, this damage was already there before I ever showed up and you didn't want me to work on it. It provides you protection and gives you the information you need to provide a quote without having to do a time costing walkthrough. A walkthrough is great for larger jobs, but for those small jobs, it is an absolute profit killer. So we want to have everything you need on this quote form. And then you want to send everyone who requests work from you to go through the quote form. You want to train all of your potential clients to use your website as your main contact point, because the more people interact with your site, the better Google is going to rank you. So finally, the next part is something that I see the vast majority of websites missing. When they are DIY websites, people don't put any thought into what they need to have to run ads before they're ready to run ads. What this gets to is tracking data on your website. Google Analytics and your Facebook Pixel are things that you get free from Google and from Facebook that puts tracking data on your website that will start tracking and paying attention to who's showing up, how they're engaging, what type of people are inquiring, and gathering all of that information from the first day your website is live, so that in 3, 6, 9 months or a year you want to run some ads, you'll have data on your tracking pixels that will tell Google or Facebook who goes to your website and who interacts with it, so that you can get better results on your ads. You're essentially training the algorithm from day one. What these tracking pixels do is that Google and Facebook start learning who is visiting your site. They track which visitors engage with your services. And when you're ready to run ads, they already know who your ideal clients are. Your ads are going to perform better and cost less. If you wait until you're ready to run ads, you're going to pay for worse results. But if you set up tracking now, even before you plan to advertise, the system does the work in the background, which saves you a bunch of money and gets you better leads later. If you want your website to drive business, updating it regularly by adding project highlights, testimonials, or blog posts is key. You want to use it as your main lead funnel. You want to send all of your inquiries to your site because it shows that your site is engaging, that people want to engage with it, and that will help with Google. You want to track what's working. Google Analytics tells you exactly where customers come from and what they do. A website that gets no updates, no engagement, and no traffic, Google sees it as dead weight. A site that's active and engaging will rank better. So you don't want to let it just sit there and get dusty. If it sounds overwhelming, don't worry. That's why we created Ready Roll websites. We build your website with SEO, service pages, and tracking. And then every month you send us pictures and a couple sentences on what it is that the jobs that you've been doing. And we will update your website with blog posts and fresh content and case studies. You can focus on your business and we handle the website side of it. If you're interested in learning more, you can go to readyrollwebsites.com or learn more about the different services we offer at thehandymansystem.com. Be sure to subscribe and leave a review so we can keep bringing you the best business strategies for your handyman business. We will see you next time. So that wraps up another episode of the Handyman System podcast. I hope you found today's insights valuable. Remember, success isn't just about knowing the right tools. It's about taking action and building your business every single day. If you've enjoyed the show, make sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share this podcast with anyone you think might find it valuable. Until next time, keep building and keep improving.